Right, so I'm back with another video, and it is episode 2 of this brand new series, Freiburg for Life is how I've dubbed it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, hopefully you guys enjoyed the first episode, and hopefully you guys will enjoy the second episode, because as I mentioned in the last one, it has already been recorded. I'm recording this way after it's already been recorded. Basically, just need to finish editing it, and it'll be done, but I know a lot of cool things happen, so stick around and watch. Hopefully you guys enjoy it, and let's keep going with the video. And in our game up against Augsburg, which was the next game, we had quite a few goals scored, including this goal by Merlin. Well, actually, it was by Javier. It was by Romeo Lavia. Sorry, I'm watching the goal right now as it plays out. Merlin Roll was actually the one who started it off, and Javier Puado was the one who passed it off to Romeo Lavia to score into the roof of the net. But not only that, Augsburg actually did get a shot off, and Ottavolo was there for it. Thankfully, he was an amazing shot stopper in this game. Overall, he's been really good for us. But an amazing showing from our Spanish striker over here. He, of course, the new signing from Espanyol. He's 27, almost 28 years of age, 78 overall, but he scored 3 goals in this game, including this one right here, where he just finished it to the side netting with his left foot. Easy does it. Not to mention Bisek right there. What a strong header that was. I mean, I just feel like he was a fantastic signing for us. I just want to point that out. He was a defensive beast. He has been, and I can tell that he can continue being that for us. That's why he's got the number 4. But with those goals and everything else that happened, we finish off the game 4-1 up against Augsburg. I know this is a bit of a clip show, a bit of not fully knowing everything, but Puado did get his hat trick, grabbed the match ball, and is showing really good signs for Freiburg so far. Our following game was against Sporting, and I just had to point out this tackle that Romeo Lavia did on Francisco Trincao. It was absolutely amazing. Look at that tackle. Completely clean, by the way. No yellow card, no foul, no nothing. I love it. And not to mention this block by Bisek yet again. I have to point out the defensive actions because we won't see them much. But look at this. The pass in from Francisco Trincao right there. And Bisek just gets perfectly in the way and gets his shin on it. I think absolutely phenomenal from our center back. Love it. And one more highlight from our center back. Francisco Trincao tries to play a through ball, but Bisek is there! And he traps it beautifully with the outside of his foot and takes it out of there. Bisek, what a signing. And thankfully, our substitution, Yuito Suzuki, did get subbed on and grabbed his first goal for the team and the first goal in the Champions League for him after a pretty good run on. Number 15 on his back. He's a really good dribbler and he knows how to score. Scores it with his left. But unfortunately, it wasn't enough as we did end up losing 6-2. Yeah, we lost 6-2 to Sporting. Not the greatest, and it was at home. Yuito grabbed 2 goals actually for us. But yes, was not enough for us to get any points. But we move forward. It was barely our first Champions League game, so we keep going. Our next game was in the Bundesliga, where we actually did defeat St. Pauli 2-1 away from home, thanks to Javier Puado and Merlin Roll. We did see an Ibrahimovic. It's not Zlatan, obviously, but it is another Ibrahimovic. Maybe we'll sign him in some future. But we did make a few substitutions, and we got the 3 points, which is pretty much that matters. We didn't play this game. We did simulate it, and that's what happened. But on top of that, we finally did discover the fact that we could save some of the match recaps as we play them. So that's why you may see a little bit difference from these games. But we did make some defensive mistakes, but Ottavolo was there to save us from some of them, thankfully. But Atalanta did get off the mark with an Openda. Fantastic goal right there. It was a good curl shot that, unfortunately, Ottavolo just wasn't able to save. And whoof, that one off the post was a good one, but landed to the feet of the other player. But it actually did go wide, thankfully. In our second Champions League game ever, at least our own game. I didn't know that we were going to be in the Champions League. Atalanta were just tearing it up for us, tearing us up, but thankfully Ottavolo was there. I cannot speak even more highly than I already have for Ottavolo. Merlin Roll had a chance that it just smacked off of Kolasinac, unfortunately. Atalanta had another one, but Ottavolo again, what a masterclass performance from him. I gotta say, he was fantastic for us in this game. but that didn't mean that he wouldn't concede anymore, because he actually did against Openda yet again. It was unfortunate, but it did happen. And another great shot from the player forced another save out of, thankfully. Atabolu was again that was a punch save actually. What amazing from him. And unfortunately we did concede a third towards the end there. Atalanta were just all over us, I can't lie. And Atabolu had already just made a save. So in the month of September we did have a win up against Augsburg, a loss to Sporting Lisbon, a loss to Stuttgart, which I didn't really cover, but we did lose 3-2 to them. We won against St. Pauli, thankfully. And we moved forward as we faced a very tough opponent in the likes of Bayer Leverkusen. You see Grimaldo, we have Javier Puado kicking us off, and Merlin Roll kicked us off with a banger, thankfully. Thankfully, he kicked us off, got us right off the mark, and we scored first up against the Leverkusen side, who, yes, under Erik ten Hag, actually not in this game, but we did concede a goal very soon after. This Leverkusen side is not the best, but it's also not the worst. They do still have Florian Wirtz, and they did score another one. Jonas Hoffman scored twice. We were on the break. Ruben van Bommel to tie it up, and with the left-footed shot, it goes in, thankfully. We did get a equalizer. It was 2-2 for the night right there. But was it over? Not quite yet, because this was a very, very fun game, not only to play, but also to watch, as Jonas Hoffman got another shot off, but Bisek was there for us. Jan Orel Bisek, like I said, fantastic player there. Great block right there to stop the shot from the corner. They got a shot off, and it was Jonathan Tah, who's not even there anymore, but did end up scoring for them, making it 3-2. But we got on the score sheet once more as Merlin Roll grabs the ball, takes a turn, and scores for the third time for Freiburg. It's 3-3. And I wish I could say that that was the end, but unfortunately not. Towards the very, very end of the game, as Van Bommel had another shot, and we did score! It was 4-3! We took the lead! Ruben Van Bommel! Hradecki was on the floor, crying basically. But Nathan Tella was gonna tell a story, and he did score. It was 4-4. But that wasn't the end. But Nathan Tella did have another shot on goal, and it was 5-4, which finally was the end of the game, unfortunately. But we picked ourselves up and moved on to the next game, which was up against Union Berlin. We were at home. Did we grab the win? There was a lot of things that happened in this game, but I mean, Javier Puado kicked us off, and kicked us off yet again with a great shot that bounced off of their defender, their captain, actually. Merlin Roll gets on the end of a ball by Javier Puado and just misses the goal, barely. Merlin Roll, I love you. He's got the number 10, but he's got to do better there. Speaking of Roll, he's on it. He's on a roll, and he takes the shot, and it's in this time! 1-0 to Freiburg. Finally getting off the mark. Union Berlin were left in shock as Javier Puado has another shot, and it also goes in, thankfully. 2-0 to the good. Javier Puado, like I said, has been a pretty good striker for us, scoring, I think, over double digits now so far. But Union Berlin were not going to take this line down as they take their own shot. Left-footed curl, and off of Atabolu, and it goes in, unfortunately. Union Berlin also weren't done quite there, but there was Gunther, our captain. Let's go. Captain Gunther. It hits off of his chest/stomach, but Union Berlin just weren't done quite yet as they take another strike, and it goes in. Oh, that tackle. I remember that tackle. It was this close. We were so close to saving that, but then Merlin Roll decided to put us back in the lead. 3-2. Thankfully, we were just suffering, but caught it back to the 3-2. We were getting those 3 points if it wasn't for this strike by Mofi. If I'm not mistaken, it was Mofi, and he did score. On their way, we actually make it to the DFB Pokal, where we see our team take on Dortmund in a penalty shootout. We tied 1-1, and thankfully we scored our first penalty, but so did Dortmund. And yeah, we just keep moving forward. We made a few subs. Obviously, it wasn't our strongest teams, but it was against Dortmund, so we did make a few substitutions. Or we did keep some of our starters, as they did as well, as you see at the Yemi taking a penalty, which he also unfortunately scores. It's 3-3. Keeps going. Suzuki, who's been a pretty underrated player for us, I can't lie. He's been our backup attacking midfielder behind Rol. And unfortunately, we didn't save the penalty. But we did keep going. Takes the pen. Bags it in, thankfully. We keep going. And then we have Julian Brandt, the 7th penalty taker, and he bags it. We take it all the way to the 8th penalty for us. Treu, our backup right back / left back, is one to take it, and thankfully he bags it. Beautiful penalty, in my personal opinion. And we have Atobolu versus Anton. I see that it's going pretty weak, so I keep it down the middle, and it wasn't. He took it to the left. All the way up to our 9th. At this point, I kind of felt that we had penalties for the goalkeepers now. As Wagner gets the goal for us and takes it, leaves it up for Atobolu. Svensson, and it was a save! It was a save by Atobolu. He saved it. He was the hero on the night, thankfully. And he obviously won the man of the match for us. And he won the match for us right there. And we made it. We progressed through. This was the first round of the DFB Pokal, the German Cup. And Atobolu was the savior, the hero, as he saves the penalty up against Dortmund's Svensson. Thank you, Atobolu. He deserves it. This and so much more. Thank you very much. But back in the Bundesliga as we face Wolfsburg. Of course, this green team, they're always pretty good. So it's always tough, especially as we were facing them away from home. But they did have some more shots, as Bisek just couldn't reach it there, and they did bang, unfortunately. But Merlin Roll decided to pick up the ball and said, no, this is my team, and we're not losing here. And we did score for the tie. The equalizer was 1-1, but Thiago Tomas just wasn't having it. He really wanted a goal today. Atobolu kept telling him no. Thankfully, our number 1 is stepping up, as Javier Puado scores himself a goal as well, thankfully, and does his little celebration, which I absolutely adore. Thank you. That's my Spanish striker right there. And Atobolu couldn't be happier, as Romeo Lavia also gets it up to Ruben van Bommel, who also has been a terror for other Bundesliga teams and scores for us, making it 3-1 for us on the night. But then we move forward back into the Champions League as we face the tortures of Turin, the amazing team that is Juventus. Of course, Juventus are a fantastic side with the likes of Douglas Luiz and Kenan Yildiz. And speaking of, Douglas Luiz does score first for Juventus. Unfortunately, Atobolu was unable to save that one. He gets a shot off, but we did not want to give up. As Merlin Roll, it's always Merlin Roll who always gets on the end of chances and bags them. Thankfully, in the Champions League. I think he's been a beast for us in the Champions League, as Javier Puado has also been on a roll for us and scores in off the post. This teamwork, this 10 and 9 duo, amazing. I'm so happy with him. As Roll also gets another goal right then and there, and it's 3-1 to us, facing the Italian Giants, and somehow possibly getting our first points in the Champions League. Not if Dusan Vlahovic has anything to say for it, because it is 3-2. As Juventus did make it a little bit of a tough game, but they really wanted to equalize it. But thankfully, our defense was there. And then you have Merlin Roll getting on the end of one more chance, and he scores his 3rd. He scores a hat-trick in the Champions League. Up against Juventus, up against a huge team, and he bags another! He scores 4! He hits 4! He somehow hit 4 for us. Amazing job from the German wonder kid. I absolutely love this player, hence why I gave him the number 10. Unfortunately, Juventus still had more to say, but thankfully it wasn't enough. But Dusan Vlahovic, like I said, was a terror for us. But Bisek, oh my goodness, Bisek was awesome for us. Whew. And so was Atobolu, I gotta say. And then Bremer with an amazing tackle up against our very own Suzuki. But then Dusan Vlahovic, he's been trying to do something for the rest of the game, and he does eventually score a goal. Score another goal, should I say. He did score another one prior to that. But overall, we came out victorious and did a fantastic job, if I do say so myself, as even Suzuki got on the score sheet with a fantastic little toe poke of a goal alongside the rest of our team, as we do get a huge victory in the Champions League and over the likes of Juventus. Let's go, Freiburg. Following that emphatic victory up against Juventus, we did unfortunately follow it up to a pretty disastrous loss to Hamburg at home. I don't know what it is when we're at home, but we did make a few substitutions, including our goalkeeper, Florian Müller, he's our backup goalkeeper, so he did start this game, and unfortunately he did concede 4, so may not be starting many after this one. But yeah, back to losses in the Bundesliga, unfortunately. Speaking of losses, we did take back-to-back losses, as we did face RB Leipzig at their home stadium and took a pretty hefty 3-0 loss. Did it feel like a 3-0 loss? Be honest, yes it was. It was not great. And yeah, no match highlights for this one, just because we didn't do much, unfortunately. We did have a few good saves and a few good blocks from our defenders, but obviously it didn't result in much, as we did end up losing the game. So, it's a little bitter loss to take. And overall, the month of November was a pretty hectic one, as we did beat Wolfsburg, beat Juventus, but then took just back-to-back losses, including in the Champions League, where we lost 2-0 to Man City. Isn't the greatest of showing for us, but we do have Werder Bremen next, and thankfully, or hopefully, we can do something against them, as we are at home, and hopefully we can turn this bad streak around. And thankfully we did, as we get 2-1 victory with Adamu and Rol getting a goal for us, as we take the 3 points back home, or we were at home, so we take them here at our home stadium, as we made quite a few substitutions just so they can get more playing time and they could get more accustomed to the team. But 3 points on the board in the Bundesliga, back to winning ways, and hopefully we can continue this, not streak, because this is our very first win in a while, but we keep going. And we do, thankfully, as we take on Magdeburg in the DFB Pokal the next round. It was obviously their second division team, or if not a third division team, but we did see a few goals from Suzuki and Adamu, who thankfully grabbed us the victory for us. We grabbed a 3-1 victory away from home, and we made a lot of changes. I think Muller was actually starting, but Muller was starting in goal. But we did make a few substitutions, including even some from our youth academy. So watch out for them. Dodds and Kaiser could be on the rise for us. But back to some match highlights, as we do see a game up against Hannover 96. Yes, this pretty interesting team that have not been in the Bundesliga for quite a bit. We're in the Bundesliga for this season, and we face them away from home, but Javier Puado gets us off the mark, just like he does normally. Him and Rol have been really good for us. They've scored a lot of goals for us. We'll check maybe what exactly their stats are looking like at basically the halfway point of the season, as Atobolu makes a fantastic save for us and ensures that he wants to keep this clean sheet. And maybe he can, maybe he won't, but who knows, as Merlin Rol gets taken down just at the edge of the box, just outside of it, but doesn't matter, as he gets another chance and punishes Hanover for that disgusting tackle that they made on him. How dare they? How dare they? Speaking of, Hanover did have a chance of their own where they took the shot and did put it in the back of the net, unfortunately. What? Hanover were just nasty in this game. Tackle after tackle, no matter who it was. But thankfully, Dinkçi, I know we haven't talked much about him, but the Turkish winger did get off the mark for us and did score a goal alongside the likes of our very own Suzuki. He has been fantastic off the bench, I can't lie. He's arguably maybe our 4th top goal scorer, so I'm happy with Suzuki being such an... And then we're back in the Champions League facing Dynamo Kiev for our 4th game, if I'm not mistaken, if not 5th game in the Champions League. I can't remember. We've played quite a few Champions League games. We've had a few wins and a few losses, but this is needed to be a statement. We needed to win, and not only win, but win by a lot. And thankfully, Atobolu did help us ensure that we didn't concede early on. Atobolu has stepped up massively for us, as Ruben van Bommel also stepped up for us, because this was his game, as he scored 1 goal right there. It was from a counterattack, absolutely amazing. I think Bisek or Lavia might have gotten the assist. I can't remember exactly who it was, but Ruben van Bommel was on fire for this game, as he scores a 2nd goal for us. Let's go, Van Bommel, as Atobolu shares my sentiment. But Dynamo Kiev did make it difficult for us, as they did take a shot, and Atobolu was there. It was the Atobolu and Ruben van Bommel show. Van Bommel was fantastic. I cannot say that more, because he did indeed grab himself a hat trick for us. He did score 3 goals in this game, and thankfully, with those goals, it was basically put to bed at that point. And Romeo Lavia tried to get himself on the board, and he was so close. Romeo Lavia has been a pretty decent goal threat for us, I can't lie. But Dinamo Kiev did end up getting a goal, consolation goal, albeit, but it was still a goal that, unfortunately, we just can't keep a clean sheet. I would love Atabolu to get a clean sheet. Dinamo Kiev did cause us a few problems, both early on and late on, as he did grab a second goal. But thankfully, Ruben van Bommel and Erlen Roll decided to get himself a goal as well, right there, making it 4-2 for us on the night, as Dinamo Kiev just did not let up, even though we tried, and Atabolu made another save. That was at least 3 amazing saves for us. And Gunther, so close, the captain, to getting himself a goal, but he's left-footed and he takes it with his right, and it was just not the greatest of shots. He was almost free, and as I mentioned before, Ruben van Bommel with his 3 goals did get the match ball. He only had 3 attempts and he scored all 3 of them. That's our Dutch winger right there. That's why I signed him. That's why he's our number 22. Might even get a bit better number in the future. With that being said, we did take on Bayern Munich as they kicked off with a really stunning goal by Michael Olise, I cannot lie. But we put up a pretty good fight, at least in my personal opinion. We were facing them at our own home stadium, but wow, just Michael Olise. They have a really good team overall. They have Harry Kane, they have Jamal Musiala, and speaking of Harry Kane, he gets a goal for himself as well, making it 2-0. And I can't believe it, because we actually were pretty decent defensively and offensively, as you see Ruben van Bommel having a chance that unfortunately Neuer does save, and then we just hit it with our head and it goes over the bar, unfortunately, as Bayern Munich just decide to punish us once more with Jamal Musiala, who does get the 3rd for them. It's 3-0, and that's unfortunately how it ends up, despite all of our attempts. Even Merlin Roll, our number 10, tries his best, and look, that should be going in, and it's just sliced so wide. It's unfortunate from our number 10. He normally puts that one in the back of the net. He really does. It was just so bad from us, as we get another chance. Even Asprilla tries to get something, and again, wide. He can put that in the back of the net, but it's just, it wasn't our day. It just wasn't our day, as Suzuki gets on the end of a chance, and what do you know? Wide again. And we could have at least tied the game. Could have been 3-3. Now we're here back in the game, and you can see that we are in the top 7 and could even make it as far as top 5 if we win our next game, but our next game is up against Borussia Dortmund. It's away from home as well, but I thought since this is going to be the last game of this episode, is the last game of December, so we are going to end it off here. I wanted to, show a little bit more, as we have been just basically showing off the match highlights that, EAFC gives us, and honestly, I think it's working pretty well. We'll see how it ends up in the edit. Hopefully it works out pretty well with the, post commentary. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I know I've been enjoying this season so far, or this series so far. I'm getting to play EAFC, which I really enjoy, and I'm playing it with a team that I absolutely love. And honestly, these players, I've already fallen in love with them quite a bit. Hopefully you guys do too. I mean, Bisek has been a fantastic signing for us. Asprilla has a bit underwhelming, unfortunately. Eggestein and Lavia, great pairing. Gunther, I really wanted him to get that goal up against, who was it? Dinamo Kiev, it was. And then Ruben van Bommel, Roll, and Puado. They've been tearing it up for us. Emerson Royal, a little bit of a backseat role, but I love it. But Atabolu, our goalkeeper, fantastic. Can we show up in this game up against Dortmund? Hopefully we can. So here we are up against Dortmund. They have Felix Nemecha. I don't know why they're showing him off, but I'm assuming he had a pretty decent game in the last few. But we are facing them away from home. Let's go, Freiburg. I actually loved Freiburg even before Schlotterbeck left. Oh no! Woo! What a save! What a save by Otabolu. Girassi. Oh, what a tackle by Gunther! Wow. Ruben van Bommel. Ruben van Bommel. Oh, off to Lavia. Off to Roll. Merlin. Awesome. Ref! Come on! Oh, come on. He was through there. Vince Baini. What are you doing, man? Oh, Emerson! Ginter. Yes, Ginter. Off to Asprilla. Hussein Roll. Back to Paulo. Roll makes a run. In for Roll. And you're through. Lefty. Yeah! there it is. Merlin Roll gets us off, and it's 1-0 to Freiburg. To be fair, they have a red card, but to be fair, it was a deserved red card. I mean, Roll was basically through. It was pretty far wide, I can't lie. But Roll does get us off the mark, and he scored yet another goal, and in a very important game, as he scored his 12th goal in 15 matches. That's how good he's been for us. Thank you, Roll. We love you. Oi! That was a bad tackle. That was a really bad tackle for us. Hopefully that doesn't bite us. I know that's going to be a yellow. Yeah, it is a yellow, thank you. Thankfully, Leonhardt wants to come in. Oh, be sacked! Back to Merlin Roll, who sees it for Puado, who takes the shot. Oh, and it's a great save. Ruben Van Bommel. Oh, and it's another block. Oh my gosh. Oh, that was their first official shot, like on goal, that actually could have gone in. And thankfully it didn't. Merlin Roll. Oh, beautiful ball by Esprilla. Merlin Roll, you got to put that away. Oh, great save by Kobel. Eggestein. Back to Esprilla. Put it to the middle. Van Bommel from there, from distance! The edge of the box, and he scores it. Let's go. Ruben Van Bommel. There we go. In the Champions League, he's got a hat-trick. In the Bundesliga, has done pretty well as well. Because Puado and Roll have scored a lot of goals, but so Van Bommel. So has Van Bommel. I think Esprilla hasn't been the one to score that many goals. But thank you, Van Bommel, and it's 2-0. Puado. Where's Esprilla? Oh, Puado steals it back, though. Puado. Been a little bit quiet this game. Cut inside. Takes it with the lefty. And it's 3-0. 3-0 to the goods. Let's go. Sorry, Dortmund, but we needed the win to get in and amongst it, to try to get back to Champions League spots. Top 5 is our aim, or top 6 is our aim, but top 5 would be even better. And right now, as we're approaching the halfway point of the season, I'd love for us to be in the top 5. There we go. Defense. Defense. Oh! Oh, Emerson! And now... Oh, what a save by Matawolu! Oh my goodness. I was trying to focus on way too many things. And wow, Emerson with the block right there. Oh, he landed offside! Oh, Girassi was offside. And that should be game over! Yes! 3-0. A clean sheet. Merlin Roll, Javier Puado, and Ruben Van Bommel gets the 3 goals, but we gotta give it up to our midfielders and our defenders. They were absolutely phenomenal. And Atabolu, he did make quite a few amazing saves. We got the huge 3 points. Give it up for the entire team. That was absolutely a phenomenal game. Out and out for everybody. Bisek made amazing blocks. Lavia, amazing recoveries. Same with Yinted and Leonhardt as well. And even Eggestein wanted to get one crucial one for us. Thank you. So 3-0 to the good. 3 more points. And we should be top 5 with that. And thankfully we are. We're just under a few games before that halfway point. We are on 25 points. 2 behind Wolfsburg. 6 behind Dortmund. And then 10 behind Leverkusen and 12 behind Bayern Munich. So title race, we're not really in it, but top 5 race, we're definitely in it. We're fighting by a thread. We're 1 point ahead and 2 points ahead and 3 points ahead between 6th and 8th. And while even 9th is only 4 points behind and 10th. Wow. Wow, this is going to be tight and very close. But Freiburg, I have faith in us. But we are going to push hard in the DFB Pokal as well, as we are in the quarterfinals facing Darmstadt. That's not the worst of opponents, but it's also not the best. But thankfully, I think we can make it to semis. And if we make it to semis, anything can happen. Maybe even win a trophy this season. Maybe. That'd be great. As we are in the 13th place for the league phase in the Champions League. Barcelona's at the very top with 6 out of 6 wins. Freiburg is right there. We got 3 wins and 3 losses, 9 points, tied with so many other teams. But we are in 13th, basically in the middle of the pack. But I'd love for us to make it through to the playoffs. Maybe make it to the round of 16 at some point. But can we make it? Should we focus too much on it? Not too much. We got 2 more games left up against Apoel and Liverpool. I think we can win this game. I think we might lose this game. If we can win both, we'll definitely guarantee playoffs. And if we win one of them, maybe it's going to be close. But we do have a jam-packed January, which we will play, but next episode. And then we'll probably leave you guys off somewhere in April. Hopefully we'll have more games in April. But yeah, we'll focus on the Bundesliga and, of course, the Cup, which we don't play our next game up until February, sorry. Again, next episode. before we go, I do want to show off a little bit of our youth academy. It's pretty good. We don't play any of the games, but we do have a few promising players like Kude. And then we also do have right here Jesse Guy. He's 19 years old. I'm surprised he doesn't want to leave yet. And then a few other ones, but I'm still keeping a close eye on our youth academy. The Vulu Crew 278, awesome. But I did want to check out the goals, as we do have Merlin Roll at the top of that with 19 goals, even above Javier Guado, our striker. But to be fair, Roll has played one more game, but I don't know. But he's got 12 in the Bundesliga and 6 in the Champions League. He has been our Champions League man. He's got 6 goals in 6 games, really good, and then 1 goal in 1 game for the DFB Pokal, and almost a goal a game for basically all competitions. He's got almost a goal a game. But on top of that, 4 assists. Javier Guado, he has been sharing everything. He's sharing the love. He's 79 overall. He did grow up in overall. He's got 13 goals, but also 13 assists, man. He's got 1 goal in the Champions League, but 10 assists in the Bundesliga, 12 goals in the Bundesliga, same with Roll, but a lot more assists. He's even got 2 Champions League assists and 1 in the DFB Pokal. While Ruben van Bommel, as I've said, can't sing his praises anymore. He's got 8 goals and 5 assists, and Suzuki is our 4th top goal scorer, like I predicted. And then we have Lavia with 3 and 5 assists. Adamu, our backup striker, 2 and 4, not bad. Ningchi, 1 and 1, and those are all our goal scorers, but most assisters does go to Javier Guado, then Lavia and Van Bommel tied for 5th. Aspria has gotten a few. Not a single goal for us quite yet, but still grabbed 4 assists. And Auriguin up by 2 overall. Emerson Royale's got 3 as well. Eggestein's got 3. Oosterhage also got 3. They were sharing the... Wow, they're basically exactly the same. 20 appearances, 3 assists, no goals. Gunther grabbing 2. And yeah, even Besta grabbing 1. Leonhard grabbed 1 as well. We will take that, very much so. I love this team. Very excited to see what lies in store for the rest of the season. Merlin Roll has been the player of our episode so far, and I'm very happy with that. Our number 10. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this new series, the start of this new series. I'm very excited about it. I've been wanting to do this for a very long time. Finally, I've been able to do it. I have the jersey, I have the means to do it, I have the time to do it, thankfully. I won't have as much time to maybe go as fast as I would like, or maybe not get all the episodes that I would like. It might be a little bit rushed, but overall, I think we're going to have a fun time with this team. We're going to enjoy this series. Hopefully you guys do enjoy it as much as I do. But yeah, this is going to be the pacing of it. Bear with me as we work out like the basics of it and editing of it all, but hopefully it goes out well. I know I got to do a lot of editing there, but I know I'm going to enjoy it and I'm going to have a lot of fun. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, please like and subscribe. Come join me on this Freiburg journey, and we will go far. But anyways, see you guys in the next one. Later.